Taste check. Okay, perfect. Doing a hospitation in Germany is probably the most important thing you can do as a foreign medical doctor. To begin with, if you're not familiar with the term hospitation, it's basically a shadowing opportunity for you as a foreign medical doctor to go and take a closer look on how exactly specific departments in a hospital work. And it's a chance for you to meet different doctors, residents, and basically see the day in the life as a resident doctor in said hospital. But besides this amazing benefit of the hospitation, which is for you to get a closer look on how exactly a specific hospital and, in extension, the German healthcare system works, it gives you actually a few other benefits. If you watched the other video regarding the Fachsprachprüfung that I uploaded a few days ago, you will see that I mentioned that doing a hospitation is, in my opinion, one of the most important things you can do to actually start your journey as a medical doctor here in Germany. There are many reasons for this, but I'm going to give you the three main reasons why this is very important. First, it helps you with the language. Even if you have like a B2 or a C1 level, you are going to improve your German going and doing a hospitation. And this is something very important, not only for your exams, but also because you're going to feel more comfortable when you start working soon as a doctor here in Germany. Secondly, it gives you a closer look on what the tasks as a resident doctor are here in Germany. For example, all resident doctors here in Germany must know and must take blood from patients, and they must start a peripheral intravenous access. And lastly, third, doing a hospitation actually opens you the door to get your first job as a doctor here in Germany. There are countless of reasons why doing a hospitation is very important, but that's not the reason why you click the video. You probably click the video because you want to know how you can get a hospitation. So in this video, I'm going to guide you on how you can get your first hospitation here in Germany as a foreign medical doctor. I'm going to tell you a few do's and don'ts when you send out your emails, and I'm going to give you some tips in order for you to acquire and get your first hospitation much easier. So now we're going to discuss on what you need to start sending out your emails to get a hospitation. Yes, we're going to do this via email because this is the most successful method to actually get a hospitation. I'm going to write here a few things that you absolutely need in order for you to start sending out those emails. To begin with, you need to have your CV. Let's put here hospitation requirements. You need to have, first of all, your CV or Lebenslauf. Now, if you haven't already done this, this is a very good example of how your Lebenslauf should look like. I'm going to post this in the description so you can actually check it out and see for yourself how it is and for you to get some inspiration on making your own CV. Moving on, if you don't have your Approbation, I would highly recommend you sending to them your medical degree translated to German so you can show them that you are indeed a doctor. So I'm going to put here very quickly your medical degree, MD. And moving on, even though this can actually help you out with the whole process, I didn't do this personally, but I've heard it's very, very, very useful. I would highly recommend you actually writing also a cover letter, or it's called Motivationsschreiben. You can go online, Google Motivationsschreiben, and then you can see some templates. So you can actually get some inspiration on how you should write your Motivationsschreiben. You can also use ChatGPT, to be honest. This is also very helpful nowadays. So yeah, once you've gathered all of these three things, the next step is for you to actually find where you're going to send your emails. So when I was doing this whole process on getting a hospitation, I actually made a list on Notion. You can download Notion, you can go make an account, you can make a table. You can also do this at Excel, like there's no issue. I just decided to do on Notion because I have a lot of things gathered here. So when I was making this table, I decided to use 6 different categories: the region, the hospital name, the name of the department that I was interested in, their email, the telephone number, and if they have a department for interventional radiology, because this is something that I'm interested in. Like I mentioned before, when you're doing a hospitation, this is a great learning opportunity for you, of course, if you want to pass the FSP, but this can also be a way for you to get a job at said hospital. So before you start actually sending out those emails, be sure to do it in due diligence. Really research the hospital, see how many beds there are, see what type of departments there are. So be sure when you make your research to be very thorough. So for you to actually start finding hospitals, what you can do and what I've done in the past is basically you can go to you can Google this if you want, but I decided to do it in Google Maps because I find this easier. You can go to any, let's say, region here in Germany, for example, Essen. You can just Google here Krankenhaus, and then Google is going to give you all of these choices here. What you can do, I mean, you can see like there are a lot of things here, okay? So let's click on a hospital here, for example. Now, once you're on their website, you need to find the different departments that they have. So I've clicked here, for example, and I found anesthesiology, something that I would be interested in, for example. Now, what you need to do is go here and actually just start like looking through, okay? See what they have. Okay, they have like intensive medicine, they have tile narcose, full narcose. Okay, cool. You see all of these things, and if it's something that you like, then you're gonna go here to the team and contact. And from now on, you can do one of two things. You can either send an email to the secretary or to the CEFATS, for example. What I would recommend you is that if there's the possibility for you to send it to the CEFATS, send it to the CEFATS. If his email is nowhere to be found, then of course you can go and send an email to the secretary, but keep that in mind. Now, this seems extremely boring, I know, but this is exactly what I did to get the opportunity to go and do my hospitation in different hospitals. I would just scroll on Google or Google Maps, find a hospital that I liked or seemed big enough. Then I would go search for the different, let's say, emails I can find on their websites. I will put it in a list, and then I will start sending my emails. But there's also something different that you can do, something that I've seen a few people do, and it seemed that it works quite well. So most likely, if you're a foreign doctor coming to work in Germany, you will have a specific, let's say, background. And there are doctors here in Germany with a similar background as yours. So for example, if you're Greek like me, there are many Greek doctors here. Or if you're a Syrian doctor, there's also a lot of Syrian doctors respectively. What you can do is once you find, let's say, a hospital that you're interested in, you can find some people with, let's say, a similar background as yours. What I mean by that is that there might be people, for example, that are Greek, Syrian, Lebanese, Portuguese, Spanish. And this is actually a great way for you to connect with them. And this is actually very, very powerful because you can use this similarity to open a discussion between you two. What I've seen people do, but I haven't done this personally, is that they will usually go to LinkedIn, for example, search the name of the hospital they're interested in, and once you're on the page, you can click on the employees button here. And what you can do is actually start scrolling around to find someone with a similar nationality as you. So for example, like I said, I'm Greek. If I scroll through here, I can find this name, for example, which is a Greek name, and this can be used as a way to create a connection between you two and open up a discussion in order for you to not only get information regarding the specialty that you're interested in or maybe the hospital that you're working in, but also to maybe get an opportunity to actually do a hospitation in this hospital. Now, I've seen people do this, and I would never expect that this works, but it does work. It's something very smart, and not a lot of people are doing it, and I think it's a better way for you to acquire this opportunity of doing a hospitation in a hospital. Because when you send an email, you're just a random person that just sends them an email. They don't know you, they don't have a clue who you are, what you're doing, if you're real or not. But if someone talks for you or gives a heads up to someone from the department so they can expect an email from you, this immediately builds a connection in a way that it's going to increase your chances on acquiring an interview for a hospitation or even a job opportunity. So even though this might seem a bit unconventional and it's something that some people might not even talk about, I would highly recommend you looking into LinkedIn, finding these hospitals, finding some people and just shooting them up a message in your own language or even in German and be like, yo, hey, I'm interested in this specialty, for example. I saw that you're also in this field in this hospital. I'm also Greek, for example. Can you please tell me more about the hospital, your work, and so on and so forth. Just don't be weird. Now, once you've done all of these steps, here comes the best part, and it's for you to start sending out those emails. I've written here an email that I used to send to all of these hospitals, and it got me a chance to go to a few interviews. So what you can do is actually pause the video here, copy and paste it, write it down somewhere, and you can start sending this out to all the hospitals that you're interested in. So I've put here some gaps. I'm gonna tell you exactly what I mean with this. So here you're gonna put your name. Here you're gonna write what exactly are you. So for example, are you a medical student? Are you a medical graduate? Are you a specialist? And so on and so forth. Here I would usually write that I am a doctor. It's better for them to actually see that you finished your medical school and you have a medical degree. Then here you're gonna write the department that you're interested in going and observing. Actually, let me delete this. It doesn't make any sense. Here you can mention your language level. Anything above B2 is okay. The first hospitation that I got was when I had my B2 and not my C1 level. So it really doesn't matter. As long as it's B2 and above, then everything is okay. And then you're gonna write this paragraph here, and I would highly recommend you attaching your CV and your medical degree. And lastly, here you're gonna put your name, and that's it. So now before we finish the video, I just wanna mention that there are some do's and don'ts regarding the interviews that you're gonna be acquiring. First of all, be sure to do a solid preparation before you go to the interview in a way that you know what type of departments there are in this hospital, how many beds, how many employees, if there's something specific about this hospital. So for example, if there's a pediatric ward that is the best one in the region, you should know about this and you should mention this, because this shows that you've done your research before you go there and you really want to work there. And this gives you a higher chance on getting a hospitation and maybe a job in the future. What you do need to do as well is to dress very well. I mean, don't wear a suit with a tie and so on and so forth, but be well presented. And the last most important thing is for you to ask after you finish the interview for a hospitation. Now, most likely they're gonna ask you before you even finish the interview, but if they don't, keep that in mind that you need to ask them for a hospitation. Now, this hospitation can be from 1 day all the way to 3 months. Depending on what you want to achieve through this hospitation, you can decide on how long you want to do it for. But be sure to discuss about this because it's very important. And now the last two things that you should not forget about is when you go to do the hospitation, be sure to be very polite and to introduce yourself to everyone. This is very important. And second of all, be sure to ask the resident doctors there, what do they think of the residency in that hospital? How are the night shifts like? What type of work do they have to do? If they do overtime, is this overtime paid? And how is it paid? Is it paid with money or do they give you more time off for your vacation? You need to have a small idea on how exactly things work there. And the only way you can do this is by asking the resident doctors, because most likely you are gonna be in this position as well. So yeah, this is it. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment if you want to see something specific regarding the medical specialty in Germany. And if you stayed till the end, thanks for watching.